Hey, let's talk about why you should avoid writing clever code. Welcome back, everybody. Today's video is going to be a short one, but it's important. Really important. You see, when you start learning how to program, you discover that there's a lot of different ways to do things. I mean, programming languages are really powerful and really cool, and that's a good thing because it helps make programming more fun, more creative, and more powerful. It allows you to do a lot of really cool things. But one thing I see with a lot of new programmers and some old programmers is there's sometimes a desire to get a little fancy. That is, to come up with solutions that maybe make your friends, your classmates, your coworkers go, "What? That's interesting. That's kind of cool." And often maybe you're trying to show off to your friends, or maybe you're just trying to stretch yourself and to find new creative ways of solving a problem, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine, but I do want to give you a warning. And that is, the more clever or the trickier your code is, the harder it's going to be for you and others to work with it. So a common Brian Kernighan quote says, "Debugging is twice as hard as writing the code in the first place. Therefore, if you write code as cleverly as possible, you are by definition not smart enough to debug it." Now, I'm not sure if debugging is actually twice as hard. It's harder. There's wisdom in this quote. The code you write, you have to live with it. You have to debug it. You have to maintain it, improve it, modify it. Even worse, sometimes other people, coworkers, classmates, whatever, other people are going to have to also work with your code. And this can run you into problems. So let's look at an example really quick. I mean, this code and this code, they both do the same thing, right? They both copy a string. And yes, I know that string copy has problems. I'm not recommending that you use it, especially anywhere near user-submitted text. I have a video on that, link in the description just so you can check it out. But it's an example, people. The point is that new programmers often love stuff like this. It's clever, it really shows off their understanding of the post-increment operator, pointers, and pointer arithmetic, and it avoids a function call, which is cool, I guess. But anytime anyone sees it, they initially go, "What?" And they have to convince themselves that it actually works. And they have to make sure that they're sure that there aren't any weird corner cases that didn't get handled properly. And in most cases, if your coworker has any sense, they're going to refactor it and spare the sanity of whoever sees this code next. Because as fun as it is, and it is fun, don't get me wrong, there is something deep within my soul that smiles when I see stuff like this. It's just satisfying. But it also slows us down, and it's a pain to modify, and it's a pain to debug. And so my message today is, yes, play around, have fun, do clever stuff, impress your friends if you want. But when it comes to code that matters, that is code that's going into production, that is code that's going to stick around for a while, that's code that you're going to have to modify, that you're going to have to debug, code that could cause stress in your life. In any of those cases, simple and straightforward is nearly always better. So I hope that helps you out. I hope you learned something and got something for that future project. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos, and I will see you next week.